Welcome to The Know. My name is Gray.
And I'm Miles.
And Apple and Sony both held events this week to announce new hardware with dubious value, but it was Nintendo who once again managed to steal the show with the announcement that Super Mario Run is officially bringing Mario to iOS.
The immediate aftermath of this announcement was video game fans everywhere saying it's about damn time, with many wondering just how much money Nintendo stands to make from bringing one of the world's most iconic video game characters to the world's biggest platform.
According to one analyst, the answer to that is a lot of money, because, he's predicting that Super Mario Run might be a little popular. So much so that it'll eclipse Pokemon Go's massive numbers and pull in more than 1 billion downloads.
And the thing is, he's not the only one predicting that this bold step for Nintendo represents a new direction for the company which may reverse their recent fortune.
But first, this edition of Crazy Shit Analysts Say. On the Know comes from Dr. Sirkin Toto, yeah, you heard that name right, on Twitter. He's a Nintendo insider and CEO of a Tokyo-based game industry firm who is often consulted about business matters pertaining to Nintendo.
You might recognize his name because he's appeared in some of our other stories, like when he predicted the NX's impending announcement back in March, and when he also joined the discussion about whether or not Nintendo would be killing Wii U production this year.
So this isn't some random dude making crazy predictions, he's a sorta bona fide dude making crazy predictions. Anyway, following the announcement of Super Mario Run, Toto, another Africa song is gonna be stuck in my head all day long. Toto posted on Twitter that in its life cycle, he expects Super Mario Run to clear 1 billion downloads easily.
It should be noted that what he was talking about was the game's initial download, not overall purchases. At the moment, we don't know much about how Super Mario Run will actually cost, but we do know that it'll be free to download with a paywall after a certain point in the game.
Details about where that paywall is or what other types of microtransactions are going to be included are scarce, but the App Store does confirm that it's the first Mario game that you can play with one hand. Insert masturbation joke.
Do you think I could see like pay-to-use warp pipe things being introduced in this? I don't know, maybe that's just me.
Yeah,
I hope not, but that's what I could see.
Don't give them ideas. Just
but regardless of free downloads or not, that 1 billion number would still be ridiculously uncharted territory for a video game smartphone app. At the moment, the types of apps that hit those numbers of downloads are free social media apps with hundreds of millions of monthly users like Facebook or YouTube, or important wide-reaching services like Gmail or Google Drive.
So it's very rare for a game to hit anywhere close to that, if your name's not Nintendo, that is, because as of this week, it was announced that Pokemon Go has officially been downloaded more than 500 million times.
Man.
Nice going.
A lot of people that are going to be really disappointed. Niantic made the announcement in conjunction with the iPhone 7 conference as part of its press for the upcoming functionality with the Apple Watch. And in case you're wondering, they also threw in some other humble brags for Go's mind-blowing statistics, like the fact that collectively Pokemon Go players have walked the distance from Earth to Pluto.
But the key figure here is that 500 million downloads, which was reached in just 2 months. So as the biggest mobile game of all time, Pokemon Go has not yet made it into billion territory yet, but it's safe to say that over its lifetime, it could get close to it. So it stands to reason that it might also be within reach for an intellectual property with more popularity like, say, Mario.
At 558 million sales, Mario games completely eclipse Pokemon's sales figures, which are closer to 279 million in lifetime sales. Mario is also estimated by other experts to be the most valuable IP in all of video games.
Yeah, so it's no mistake.
Yeah.
Always in sec. No.
Wow.
It's no mistake that Japan chose Mario to promote the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games over any other creature from Pokemon, even though the world was still in the grip of its Pokemon Go obsession. That's how much cachet that Mario has over those little pocket monsters.
After the success of Go, Nintendo knows that its next smartphone app, obviously they didn't create Pokemon Go, but the brand is synonymous with Nintendo, needs to be just as big of a hit, if not bigger. As a result, they've not only started work on Super Mario Run, they've also delayed and reshuffled their entire mobile strategy.
For Nintendo, that means leveraging its most valuable properties outside of the normal ecosystem, and that could be the very thing that turns everything around for them.
Not that Nintendo needs saving exactly, but it's hard to argue that they're at the top of the heap the way they used to be. As the longest running player in the industry, they've inadvertently created much more value in software over hardware. With mobile, they stand a return to the kinds of profits they used to be famous for.
And Nintendo thinks so too. Earlier this year, they promised investors that they would soon return to Nintendo-like profits based on their new business ventures with both the NX and with smartphone apps.
Earlier this year, Nintendo also updated its articles of incorporation, basically the reasons they exist to do business, to include licensing out more of their properties in other areas. In addition to the Super Mario Run app for iOS, they've also signed on with Universal to create a Nintendo-based theme park, which sounds awesome!
Yes, we will be happy to line up for that one. Yeah. According to one analyst quoted in the Wall Street Journal, smartphone games, theme park projects, and all other character licensing deals are just a marketing tool for Nintendo to let people become interested in its console games.
The funny thing is, everyone seemed to know this for so long except Nintendo, who waited years to finally bring some of their properties over to those massive audiences. Some say that's just how Nintendo rolls, waiting until the time is right to make their mark, but they've also shown in the past an unwillingness to get out of their own way.
Yeah. We should have done this years ago, should become Nintendo's official new slogan. Either way, if the analysts are to be believed, Nintendo seems to be gearing up to take the world by storm with yet another product. So, what do you guys think of these crazy predictions that Super Mario Run is the sign of a new, ridiculously profitable Nintendo? Will they reach 1 billion downloads? Let us know in the comments.
For future updates on Super Mario Run, like this video and subscribe to the know. What a phrase to be able to say. Like, can you imagine, we're looking to make some Rooster Teeth profits next year.
Right,
Jesus, man.
Our Rooster Teethness will be very Rooster Teethy.
Yeah, we're gonna be super Rooster Teeth.
Expect more Rooster Teeth from Rooster Teeth in the future.